going to tell you this now, while it's fresh in my mind, because I know how time creeps up on you. How it's just one day turning into another, and then suddenly it's 35 years. You won't believe it now, because you're not even a month old yet, but just wait. So, I have to tell you now what it was like. The day, the hour, the very moment you were born. This is how it happens. I'm sitting with your father, eating a brisket sandwich, chewing my dead-on impression of the hippie yoga teacher we just giggled through birth class with. We laugh, then, gosh, my water breaks. And 1 minute it's brisket and jokes, and the next we're driving to the hospital, saying but not believing, we're gonna be parents. I look at the car seat with its government-mandated 5-point harness and try to fill it up with the idea of you, but fail. It's impossible. There is no way this thing inside me is a person. And there are hours and hours at the hospital for it to get more real. Contractions that get bigger and closer together, and monitors that show your heart beating away, but still, it's impossible to believe. How will it happen? After the epidural, there's no more pain to distract me from the impossible task at hand. It's 2 a.m. Your father's asleep in a vinyl chair, and I'm left alone with beeping machines, ice chips, and paralyzing fear. This goes on for hours until finally I'm dilated 10 centimeters and they page for the doctor. He breezes in just before 5 a.m., sipping a large latte and pulling a crisp white lab coat over a worn old t-shirt. This is just another day for him. He had time to stop at Starbucks. I'm shaking. The nurse whispers to the doctor, "She's panicking." And he takes his place at the foot of the bed on the wheeled stool. His face is framed by my trembling legs, and he places a hand on my leg. "Annie, this is what you're going to do. You're going to hold your legs up like this, take a deep breath, and let it out. Then you're going to take another deep breath and hold it. That's when you push. Push as hard as you can. Push exactly like you're having a bowel movement. But don't worry, you won't have a bowel movement. You'll have a baby. Okay, ready? Deep breath. Of course, I know this is coming the moment that they tell me to push out my baby. And yet still, you have got to be kidding me! Why don't you just tell me to fly or speak Russian? There is no way. No way. But still, I do it. I hold my legs back. I take a deep breath. I let it out. I take another deep breath and hold it. And push as hard as I can. And nothing happens. The doctor says, Annie, you aren't really pushing. You've got to push with everything you've got. And I want to kick him in his sweet, authoritative teeth. I know this is how it's done, but still, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I do it again. That's it. That's great, Annie. Now do it again. And I can't, but I do it again and again until finally the doctor says, the baby's crowning. You can stop pushing. Just relax. I'm going to pull the shoulders so you don't tear. Then I'll hand her to you, but very gently because she's still connected inside of you. And here she comes. Here she comes. And I'm still thinking, there is no way this person is an actual human inside of me. And then here she is. And oh my God, you are a person, warm and wet, with little arms and bones and swollen little eyes darting back and forth, and you see me and I see you, and we both start crying. You, a rhythmic little wail, me, an overwhelming flood of relief and love. Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Later, they take you off for some tests with your father, and I'm left to relive what just happened. You landed on my chest and took your very first breath. The morning light moves across the vinyl floor of the hospital, and the next thought comes to mind. If you could take your very first breath right before my eyes, you very well could stop. And as sure as you were just born, someday you were going to die, and that could be any second. The next week, my mother visits me, and it takes her less than 5 minutes to piss me off. She starts with passive-aggressive questions. Shouldn't she have gained more weight by now? Are you sure that swaddle isn't too tight for her to breathe? Then she transitions to full-blown irrational diagnosis. She's jaundice. She's lethargic. Things get ugly when she offers a ride to the emergency room. Mom, she's fine. She's a newborn and she's tired. We don't need the emergency room, and we don't need you undermining my confidence. And before I can finish, my mother bursts into tears. You don't understand. You are still my baby. It has not been 35 years. It's been 35 minutes. And you just came out. I'm sorry, but you are still my baby. I have your tiny body in my arms and rock you till long after you're asleep. I rock you until I'm not angry at my mother anymore. I want you to tell you the story now, because even though you can't possibly begin to understand it, I want you to know why I love you so much more than you will be able to tolerate someday. Because no matter how old you are, 10, 20, 70, there will still be a moment in time that I will never forget, when one moment you weren't there and the next minute you were. Life began and I got to be there.